Come to Helmuth Ford, home of the lifetime powertrain warranty.
Hi, this is Stacy from Shuttler Insurance Services. Come see me on the east side of the square in Sigourney for all your insurance needs.
Get ready for a night of great music and good times in Watshire. Join the Country Buddies, Stanley Knipfer, Teresa Hammett, and Sharon West, live at the Watshire Opera House this Saturday from 7 to 9 p.m. They'll be playing all your favorites, classic country and rock and roll, perfect for dancing or just kicking back and enjoying the show. Admission, just a free will donation, so bring your friends and come support live local music. For details, visit WatshireOperaHouse.org. That's the Country Buddies, Saturday night in Watshire.
Yeah, get up, get going, really sock it to them.
All right.
Time for Real Talk.
Real Talk.
With Aaron and Steve, brought to us by New Life Community Church in Wellman, Iowa, where Aaron is the pastor.
Hey.
Hey-o.
We had somebody drop in on our office the other day and just wanted to see what was going on I was wearing I've been wearing track clothes a lot recently since I'm coaching middle school girls track up at Mid Prairie, and so I'm always wearing athletic pants and sweatshirts and stuff, and it took him about 15 minutes to figure out that I was the pastor. Because I look a little bit like a hobo these days, just wandering around in my track pants and my and my sweatshirt. So yeah, if you let's say when you visit at New Life on Sunday morning, feel free to dress casual. I usually kind of wear like a button-up shirt, although sometimes I wear a T-shirt if it's a nice one, to put on one of my nice T-shirts.
Yes.
Or a T-shirt associated with a missions organization or something, something religious. So it's appropriate for Sunday morning. Join us. We meet at 10 o'clock at 257 8th Avenue in Wellman, Iowa. That's why we call ourselves your friendly downtown church. And it's the best church in downtown Wellman. It's the only church in downtown Wellman. But like what I tell track kids, sometimes you have a track kid who's like, I'm not very fast. And I say, you know what? You're beating 100% of the kids who didn't go out.
True.
You're beating everybody who's not trying. And sometimes I think that helps a little bit. So I want to talk about, since it's track season and we're working hard and we're running and then we're getting tired and all kinds of stuff like that, following along with our theme of hope from last week. And I said last week that hope gives us energy, which is really important because when you're stuck in despair, you can't get anything done because you don't have any energy. So you can't improve your situation in life. What gives our physical bodies energy, Steve?
Food. Water.
Yeah.
Those are the main air.
Oxygen.
The air we breathe.
Yeah.
Maybe a good mental health state.
Yeah, having a good mood. Rest.
Yeah.
Rest, I think, is an important one. And then this one's always weird to me, but exercise.
Yeah.
Exercise gives us energy. It uses energy, but it gives us energy. And I always say that I hate working out in the morning because I don't like to get up and stuff. But since it's track season, I've been working out before I go to work. And then I kind of like,
wakes you up a little bit.
Kind of wakes me up and gets me going, and I feel good, and kind of gives me energy through the day. So that's a weird one, how exercise gives us energy up to a point. Like if you go run 26 miles, you'll probably feel tired.
Yeah.
Last time I really back in August, I did a 25-mile walk with my son on his 25th birthday, and I was very tired.
Yeah, that would do it.
And my back was sore, and my thighs were sore, and everything was sore. But, an hour of brisk walking or a little bit of weightlifting or something in the morning kind of peps you up. So, and you mentioned breathing, like air, and you mentioned food. And how many of you have heard of aerobics, right? Like aerobic exercise. And back in the 80s, let's not go back, at least to the costumes. And you would see, the people doing, they called it aerobics back then, jumping around in leotards that people ought not have ever worn. What was going on in the 80s, Steve? Like
Jane Fonda.
Yeah.
Jane Fonda. Richard Simmons.
Richard Simmons, for sure. Yeah.
Body by Jake. You remember that guy?
No.
You don't remember him?
Body by Jake.
He was a big dude.
Okay. Like the Florida bodybuilder basketball fan? Did you see memes of that
Oh,
guy?
yeah, I did see that guy. Woo, he was a big dude.
That guy works out. I tell you what. He's not sitting around all day. So aerobics, aerobic exercise is when your body combines fat and oxygen and uses that as fuel. So in our diet, well, back in the 80s, I think we had the food pyramid, and fat was a giant no-no, right? Like, don't eat any fat, and all these weird fat-free foods came out. And then it turned out that in order to make them fat-free or to make them taste good, if you take all the fat out, you have to add a bunch of sugar.
Yeah.
And maybe that wasn't the smartest idea. Or if you don't add a bunch of sugar, you have to add a bunch of artificial sweeteners, and then that's just gross, I think. But you like your Diet Pepsi, right?
Yeah, I'll drink mostly Diet Mountain Dew.
Diet
which is,
Mountain Dew.
Obviously dew straight from the mountain, so I don't know what's unhealthy about that. The fact that it's a neon green color, totally natural.
That I see many objects in nature that are neon green. I look in the ditch along Highway 92 and I see lots of neon green objects, mostly Mountain Dew bottles. Is that where Mountain Dew comes from? Like, do they go and
Yes, the stream
harvest
right from the mountain.
Yeah.
You just dip you could take your old Mountain Dew bottle and just put it right in the stream, and
And
comes
it
out
just-
full of caffeine and bubbles.
So I'm glad you mentioned caffeine.
Yeah.
Caffeine is not actually energy.
Okay.
It tricks your brain into thinking that it's alert.
Okay.
And gives a feeling of energy. This is really important because, like, we all kind of know that many of our dietary habits aren't great, and that we try to get energy from sugar. And yes, carbohydrates do give you energy, but you kind of start to ride that glucose roller coaster or whatever it's called. I am not a nutritionist, so this is not nutritional advice. But I think we all know that we need a balance of proteins and fats and carbohydrates, and a little bit of sugar is okay. But if you keep trying to get yourself through the day by injecting large quantities of sugar and caffeine, it's not really energy. So, just throwing that out there. So there's a combination of things. If we go over to our spiritual lives, or our emotional lives, if you want to think of it that way too, or maybe our psycho-emotional or spiritual, I don't know what I'm saying. I'm garbling all the words, Steve.
I'm kind of psycho every once in a while.
Psycho-spiritual. Maybe that's what I was thinking of. Having to do with psychology and spirituality combined. Because it's really hard to be spiritually mature and emotionally immature at the same time. So anyway, once we get into our spirit and emotions, we're looking for energy in those places too. And I would just want to suggest to our people that listen to us that in the same way that your body needs a balance of a variety of things like rest and exercise and food and oxygen and breaking down food into a couple of different important categories, your spirit and your emotions need an appropriate blend of inputs as well. And hope is one of those, and love is one of those. I think love is one of the most energizing forces on the planet. A couple of weeks ago in a sermon, I said that. I told the people, I think we get way more energy from love than we ever got from a list of rules. So in the same way that your body can be tricked by sugar and caffeine into thinking that you have energy, your emotions can be tricked into thinking you have energy by things like fear. And like, fear is energizing.
Sure, yeah.
Short term. Fear is great if you're actually being attacked by a grizzly bear. Anger is great if you're being attacked by a grizzly bear. But if you're being attacked and bullied by your boss, after a while, one of a couple of things happen. Like what? You just quit, right? You get sick of it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you're going to treat me like that, I'm just going to quit. And so that's not motivating. Or you just start doing the minimum possible to keep from being fired. So that's not energizing. Shame is kind of one of those. Shame is the artificial sweetener of energy. It feels like it'll get people going, but it's hollow and empty at the end of the day. But love will make me pick up my dirty socks. Like I have learned, and I'm not perfect, but I have learned a lot of things about vacuuming and sweeping that I did not do as a bachelor. And that I did not do a very good job of for the first couple of years of marriage. But over time, love has given me the energy to learn how to pick up my socks. Nagging mostly just makes us want to dig in, right? Like, okay, if you're going to keep after, like, watch me drag my feet. And I also spoke about this in church a couple of weeks ago, so I wanted to bring this out for our friends online on Real Talk. When we look at the resurrection, we talked last week about hope coming from the resurrection of Christ. But in John chapter 21, we see this picture of Jesus restoring Peter to relationship. Because before Jesus was crucified, Peter denied him 3 times, said, I don't even know who the guy is. No, I don't follow him. 3rd time, called down curses on himself. I assume that when the Bible says that somebody called down curses upon himself, they probably used a lot of bad words. The Bible doesn't tell you what the bad words were, but Peter used some bad words to let people know that he was not associated with Jesus. And what does that produce? After the fact, all of a sudden, Peter realizes, I've been living in fear, and now I have shame, and I feel guilty, and I betrayed my best friend, and I betrayed my Lord, and the guy that I said that I believed in. So I pretty much betrayed everything that I believe in. So he's probably an emotional basket case. But in John 21, Peter has this conversation with him, and he doesn't bring up the betrayal. He doesn't wag his finger in Peter's face and say, now, I know what you did. I told you were going to betray me, and you said, no, I wasn't. And I said that you would, and now look what, see, I was right. And Jesus doesn't do any of that kind of stuff that we honestly kind of love to do sometimes. Like, don't you love to say, I was right?
No.
No, I told you so. Like, we kind of like to say that. How often does that go well?
Not many.
Not many. I try not to say those things. Sometimes it slips out and feels good for a second, like artificial sweetener. When they had finished eating, Jesus said to Simon Peter, Simon, son of John, do you truly love me more than these? Yes, Lord, he said, you know that I love you. And Jesus repeats this question 3 times to match the 3 betrayals. And I think Peter probably gets the point. But what we don't see Jesus do in this story is we don't see him saying, I told you so. I knew this would happen. Don't you feel bad? Now make sure you don't ever do that again. I'll be watching you. He doesn't do any of that stuff that we really want to do to each other. All he does is reestablish a loving relationship with Peter, and then does this crazy thing where he gives him responsibility to take care of other people. So he restores the love in the relationship, and then he reaffirms his trust in Peter's calling, and away they go. So love gives us energy. If you need more energy in your life, get around some people who love you. Get around a God who loves you. And I think that just kind of sums it up for the day. So What do we need to say to wrap up?
Where can they find you?
Oh, where can they find us? 10 o'clock on Sunday morning at 257 in downtown, 257 8th Avenue, downtown Wellman. Worship starts at 10. We've always got a pot of coffee on and a couple of different flavored creamers. If you're a creamer person, some people say that's not manly, but we're not real judgy, except for those black coffee drinkers. And they're okay people too. So we got a pot of coffee on and some friendly faces, and somebody will shake your hand. And Ann Bowser is everybody's grandma, so she'll probably give you a hug too. So be ready to be greeted warmly at New Life. And I just hope we get to see you around soon.
All right. Well, that'll do it for this week's edition of Real Talk with Aaron and Steve, sponsored by New Life Community Church in Wellman, Iowa. We'll see you again next week.